What is the biggest pain point of any home buyer in India? Something that adds insult to the injury of project delays and builder's default. It's the justice system in this part of the world. What aggravates the hurt of the home buyers is the fact that if he wants to contest the builder, he has to get into a long and lengthy litigation. Needless to say, who has the better bandwidth to fight the long legal battle? I am Ravi Sinha and I asked the same question to the director of Dubai RERA to understand how the global markets operate. I asked him how is Dubai dealing with the trust deficit, the vicious cycle of trust deficit. He interrupted me. He said, in Dubai there is a virtuous cycle of trust, something that has goaded nationals of 100 plus countries to invest in the Emirates. The reality is that Dubai property market was no different than India till the global financial crisis of 2008. What changed Dubai property market and where India can learn from Emirates is in setting up fast-track courts. The global financial crisis of 2008 led to major real estate disputes and that eroded the trust of global investors in Dubai property market. It nevertheless helped the Gulf market to identify weaknesses with its real estate laws. Various channels of amicable settlements were opened, and what changed the perception of global investors is the time-bound settlement of disputes. What is the Indian reality? There is no entry barrier to be a builder. Anybody can enter into this profession. The business model in sell and build. The business model is sell and build that adds to trust deficit. And lastly, the long and lengthy litigation. In India, what aggravates the trust deficit and adds insult to the injury of the aggrieved home buyers is the absence of speedy judicial relief. Court adjournments are more of norms than exception in this part of the world. The developers have all the tricks in the books to ensure that the justice is delayed and hence denied to the buyers as and when they confront the erring builders. Hi. Thank you all for subscribing our channel and posting your comments. I appreciate. Trust me, I take time to read all the comments and I take your comments, feedback and queries with due professional seriousness. I would continue to make video on the topics and questions raised in the comments section as I aspire to make this platform dialogue driven. May I request you all to subscribe this channel and keep posting your comments. Our mail ID is given in the description and you are also free to ask questions through your short and crisp video. I will try my best to take your video queries and reply it in the subsequent video. Let's make this channel unique and dialogue driven. Thank you. Right from arbitration clause invoked in the builder-buyer agreements to RERA, to appellate tribunal, to High Court and then Supreme Court, builder has years of bandwidth to harass the home buyers. The situation is all the more pathetic in the consumer commissions and it is indeed a marathon of harassment from district consumer commission to state commission and then the national consumer commission. What can a helpless home buyer do when the builder continues to get absence of leave by the courts and a fresh date in the NCDRC takes nearly 6 to 8 months? A non-standardized product that is sold much before it is even ready, property happens to be the #1 cause of litigation in this part of the world. Just look at some of the real life case studies from the Indian housing market. I am giving some real life case studies that we have received complaints on our channel. So someone bought an apartment in 2 2015 with a Greater Noida builder. The project was delayed for 4 years. RERA awarded the delay penalty in favor of the buyer, but the matter is since then pending at the UP Real Estate Appellate Tribunal. After legal battle of some 3-4 years, the buyer resigned to his fate and he compromised with the builder and withdrew the case to get his dream home. There is another case study. When the home buyer was appalled with the condition of the apartment on offer of possession at Gurugram, it was nowhere near the satisfaction level, but the builder continued to coerce for the buyer to sign on the dotted lines, where satisfaction statement was a must. Any denial infuriates the builder and possession is denied. A legal contest means waiting endlessly to get the dream home while builder continues to harass through chains of litigations. Another case study. When this home buyer went to the builder's office for signing the registration formalities in Ghaziabad, he was given a bunch of papers to sign. The documents were beyond what is required for property registration. The docket included predated consent to the builder for already having made the FAR layout changes in the project. On refusal to sign, the buyer was told that henceforth the legal team will deal with his case and till then he has to wait for possession and registration. Another case study, and more interesting. With some legal knowledge, the buyer signed the dotted lines of the builder to get the possession. But then after having taken the possession, he challenged the one-sided unfair contract before the State Consumer Commission. What followed was a series of cases against him by the builder. This includes a criminal defamation case for having written nasty social media post against the builder and the project. You can easily make out what kind of housing market we are. Trust deficit is a real issue, and sooner the stakeholders of the business, including the policy makers and the builders, admit it, better it would be for the business that has the potential to revive the economy and create jobs as well. The liquidity crisis of real estate is directly linked to the trust deficit and fear factor of the home buyers. No one would like to get into a lengthy and expensive legal battle with the builder. This is a fact admitted by none other than the Apex Court of India in a recent judgment. Supreme Court had categorically said that how many buyers have the might to get into lengthy and costly litigation with the builder. Not that the issue has not been raised at the advocacy level and policy level in the country. In 2008, an organization of NRIs had urged the government to introduce fast-track courts to facilitate speedy disposal of their real estate disputes back home. Needless to add, absence of fast-track courts is a big deterrent in attracting the NRIs investment into the property market. After much deliberations in 2014, the Law Ministry had also proposed setting up of 1800 fast-track courts across the country to speed up disposal of cases pertaining to land acquisition and property disputes besides those involving heinous crimes. As per the proposal, land acquisition and property cases which had been pending for more than 5 years were to be taken up on priority. No plan of action has been rolled out since then. The pendency of cases in Indian courts have reached to an alarming 45 million. Matters related to land and property make up about 2/3 of all the civil cases in the country, as per a study by a leading think tank and research institution that focuses on law and justice system reforms and access to justice. India's global ranking in contract enforcement is abysmally low at 163. There are only two ways the trust deficit of home buyers can be restored. Either the developers clean up their own mess and adopt the best practices at will, or else they should be robbed out of the comfort zone of dragging the cases for years at will. The first option has never moved out of holier than thou claims, and the second option of fast track courts too seem to be the home buyers' wishful thinking as of now. What can the home buyers do? In the absence of fast track courts, the home buyer is at the mercy of the builders, at the mercy of the system, and the system prefers the mightier one, and the mightier one is builder. Thanks for watching.